Alrighty, folks. Well, welcome to today's webinar. Today with Civic Champs, we have Spencer. He'll introduce himself in just a second, but today we'll be talking about unlocking the power of planned giving, empowering volunteers to leave a lasting legacy. And so we're so grateful that all of you have taken time out of your day to spend it with us and to, have some learning amongst all of us. So I will introduce myself and then let Spencer take it away. But my name is Emma Dawson. I am the Director of Partnerships and Strategic Initiatives for Civic Champs. A little about me, I actually got my bachelor's in music education and a minor in innovation change and entrepreneurship. I am starting my career as a Venture for America Fellow here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And some of my favorite nonprofits that I love to help out with and volunteer with is Hit Like a Girl. They help with drumming, advocacy for women. Western PA Diaper Bank and the Education Partnership here in Pittsburgh. They're Civic Champs customers, and the Missouri Fine Arts Academy in Springfield, Missouri. So that's a little bit about me, and I'll pass it over to Spencer to introduce himself.
All right, thank you. Well, hey everyone, I'm Spencer Cassidy. Super excited to be here. I am the co-founder and CEO of Life Legacy. Just as a quick background, I studied at Quinnipiac University, where I received both my BA and my MBA before starting my career journey at Google, where I spent a number of years at. And while I was at Google, I had a little itch to go into the startup world. Launched my first company, Balto, which was acquired by Fubo TV in December 2020. I decided I wasn't done with the startup world and started Life Legacy with two of my brothers. And for the last 3 years, we've made estate planning and philanthropy affordable, accessible, and simple. And real quick too, some of my favorite volunteering moments, Crawl for Kids. Actually launched this in San Francisco with a couple of my buddies, raising funds for the homeless youth, American Brain Tumor Association, which I hold near and dear to my heart, and then Google Gives.
Awesome. All right, so just a little bit of an overview of today's webinar. We're going to dive right into our conversation around legacy and volunteerism. Of course, give you a little bit more background to Life Legacy and Civic Champs along the way. And then near the end here, we'll give you some opportunities to reach out. We'd love to continue the conversation. And then at the end, stick around because we have some freebies and some discounts for you all to tap into. And then we'll have some time for Q&A. But yeah, if you have any questions throughout, please put them in the chat. We'll go through them at the end, but if we can answer live throughout the chat in the comments, we'll do that as well. But just an overview here, this will be recorded, and we're going to put it up for you all to see afterwards if you want to review, and then we'll also be sending out these slides as a freebie for everyone that is in this call. So don't be scared if you are a pen and paper person like me. We'll have all of this down for you. All right, so I'll give it to you, Spencer, to take it away today.
Perfect. Well, before we start, I just want everyone to think from their perspective. If today were my last day, how would I be remembered? What's my legacy? Do my loved ones know what things in the world matter most to me? So just hold this thought throughout the presentation, and just keep this in mind while we're going through things. So I know it's a hard question to think about, but it's one that I've witnessed firsthand, and it's fueled the inspiration behind Life Legacy. When I was 16, I lost my father to brain tumors. Fortunately, he was a planner. He had his estate in order. This allowed us to know his wishes and bring his legacy to life, and still to this day. So, let me make this clear, though. This is a rarity. My father's story is a rarity. Most Americans do not have a plan in place. So despite death being the largest financial event of our life, this is a result of, the fact that folks don't have a will is a result of, affordability, accessibility, and education. But everyone should have this plan, regardless of age, wealth, and health. Most importantly, everyone should have the ability to leave a legacy. So at Life Legacy, which we'll get into throughout this presentation, we've made it easier than ever for your supporters or your volunteers to create that lasting legacy through estate planning tools to, allow them to protect their loved ones and the things that they care about most, such as your organization. We're on a mission to make plan giving easy for your supporters to give and even easier for your organization to receive. Since launching our legacy giving suite, which includes the estate planning tools like a last will and testament, a gift intention tool, QCD tool, and the alike, we've had hundreds of nonprofits partner with us. But best of all, in the last 6 months, our partners have generated over 35 million in pledge plan gifts using our tools. You might be asking, like, why does this matter, or where are we getting with this? Over the next 20 years, baby boomers and the silent generation will bequest a total of $84.4 trillion in assets, with 72.6 trillion of that going directly to their heirs. The problem here, 70% of American adults do not have a will. And the problem's widespread. So when you look at it, it disproportionately impacts middle-income Americans, and it becomes even larger of a problem for people of color. So, why should your organization care? It's quite simple when we start breaking it down within these buckets. There's over 60 million US volunteers, and 1 in 3 of those volunteers are above the age of 55. That average age sitting around 43. When you look at it based on data, about 40 million volunteers, or roughly 70% of your volunteers, are without an estate plan, which is leading to nonprofits missing billions in plan gifts. And the biggest reasons for this not getting done goes back to what we were hitting on earlier with accessibility, affordability, education, but also a mixture of procrastination. A lot of folks say, I need to do this. This is a critical thing for me to complete, but I'll do it later. And the last is that financial aspect. So estate plans can cost an upwards of $5,000. This is an opportunity to reward your volunteers while benefiting from it too. And it doesn't take much effort is one of the key themes and one of the key things I want to hit on here. You can offer your volunteers a free tool to create their legacy. Doing so provides that access and affordability. This also keeps your organization top of mind at key moments to secure plan gifts. Using tools like Life Legacy's Last Will and Testament, they're 7 times more likely to generate a charitable bequest than the national average. And remember too, your volunteers have an affinity towards your organization. They're the ideal candidate to nurture to leave a legacy. The stats around it is roughly 71% of your volunteers work with only one organization per year. So it's a really good time to steward them in, bring them in, and grow them as potential plan givers. And, as mentioned in the last slide, rewarding your volunteers with the ability to leave a legacy can significantly reward your organization. So plan gifts are amongst the largest gifts received by organizations. So to share a few high-level stats on that, when you look at it, plan gifts are up to 1,000 times the size of annual donations, with an average gift size of $78,000. That's a significant amount that you can bring into your organization. Plan gifts, there's always been a misconception. Does this impact my annual giving? What happens to those types of donations? Plan gifts increase annual giving. So for example, donors who added a charitable beneficiary to their estate increased their average annual giving by $3,000. So this is helping you not only now, but also in the future. And then I can't stress this part enough, but plan giving is an important part of your fundraising ecosystem and strategy. It's not a nice to have, it's a must have. And now's the time with bequests on the rise. So in 2022, charitable bequests grew 2.3% year over year, compared to individual giving, which some of you may be aware of, declined by 6.4%. Of total giving, 46 billion of the 499 billion given to nonprofits came from a charitable bequest. The growth and the opportunity in plan giving are evident. So again, if your organization doesn't have a strategy for it, it could potentially be missing out on significant future funds. So now more than ever, it's a great time to provide your volunteers with that ability to leave a lasting legacy, to really propel your mission forward for years to come. But before you push this to your volunteers, it's always important to keep in mind, how can you begin these conversations? How can you start the convo with your volunteers? You'll see here I've listed 10 tips to start the convo about leaving a legacy. I'm not going to read through all of them, but just to highlight a few that I think are like very important to keep in mind when you're doing this. The first is, don't mention death. Folks don't want to think about planning for their death. Frame it as planning for your future or creating a legacy, but avoid that. Avoid mentioning death. Provide a resource to create a will or leave a legacy. If you have the tools for them to do it, they're more likely to convert. It's more likely to convert that supporter than telling them, hey, go to your financial advisor or go to an estate planning lawyer and then get back to us later. If you can have these tools or these products in-house where you can nurture your supporter, your volunteers through, the higher propensity that you have to get these plan gifts. The other two that I just want to quickly call out are, mention the benefits of plan giving. I think this is something that a lot of folks underplay, but mention those benefits of plan giving for the individual as well as the organization. You can even weave it in with social proof or impact stories. This goes a long way in terms of making folks say, I want to be part of that. And the last, it sounds crazy to say, but be human. Don't ask for that plan gift in the first one-on-one conversation. Steward that your prospective plan giver through. Make them feel, again, part of it, because they are part of this whole goal. And outside of starting the conversation, your program needs to be a rewarding experience for folks to partake in. So some things to keep in mind while you're building the foundation of your program are a couple of things I want to call out here, which is, you can create a legacy society for those who leave plan gifts if you don't have one already created. You can host special events or galas for supporters that include your organization in their plans or intend to leave you in their plans. You can also offer benefits or perks to plan givers. So, for example, if you are a zoo or a museum, you may offer lifetime entry for a donor that left a plan gift of a certain threshold. That's up to you. You can create these unique perks and benefits that tie more folks into becoming plan givers. And the last is just, communication. Communicate your progress about your goals, the big vision for your organization, and how plan gifts will influence it. Again, make them feel a part of it because they are. And while you're building on your strategy, be versatile in your approach. So give your volunteers more ways than one to leave their mark. Whether they want to leave you in their will or simply notify you of a gift they intend to include in their plans, offering a versatile mix of plan giving tools will allow you to unlock more opportunities with these volunteers. It doesn't have to be a rigid or a scary process. It should be warm, it should be friendly, and it should be a rewarding experience. And some of the things at Life Legacy, which we'll jump into in a few moments, we provide this versatility of products for folks to leave a legacy, whether it's a gift intention tool that takes 3 minutes to complete, or it's a last will and testament that can take 20 minutes to complete. There's a variety, and folks will gravitate where they're most comfortable. And this will help you with that likelihood of getting more plan gifts into your organization.
All right. So I also, would be remiss if I didn't share a little bit about how Civic Champs can be a positive tool here as well. None of these legacy pieces that Spencer is mentioning, right, are possible unless you really do create that positive and intentional experience for your volunteers. And so, yeah, Civic Champs can be that tool for positive change, especially when you're looking to invest in your volunteer experience. And so here is a quick, snapshot of what our mobile view looks like for volunteers that use Civic Champs. It's, intuitive and simple in nature. It allows folks to be able to check in and check out. If I go back a slide, actually, you can see that there's a geofencing technology feature that we use that allows folks to get a notification when they show up for your different volunteering events. And so they can quickly see, on the app, their impact in hours that they have personally, given to your nonprofit, increasing their likelihood, right, of continuing to come back, like Spencer was mentioning earlier. And then another piece here, right, to better understand the legacy that your different volunteers want to contribute is a micro donations piece. And so in Civic Champs, right, once you have completed your volunteering experience, this is an option for your nonprofit to ask for a micro donation. Volunteers, I think the number is are 66% more likely to donate financially to your organization. This is a great opportunity for you to tap into that, right? Something else you can do in Civic Champs, and you can see in the skiff here, is ask your volunteers the kind of experience that they had, get their feedback to what is going on and if they enjoyed their time. And then here on the back end, you can see as an administrator all of the different reflections that your volunteers have left. If they were satisfied with their experience, if they left a reflection, you can look into all of those. And so, for your volunteers that are having a great time and really investing in your nonprofit, those can be a great, bundle of folks that you can start the conversation around legacy. And for folks that maybe, are not having the greatest experience, you can tap into those reflections and understand what you need to be doing in order to be more intentional and create a more, positive experience for these folks. So yeah, this is Civic Champs. Near the end, I can share a little bit more about how this tool can be utilized as a positive force for change for your nonprofit. But I'll pass it back over to Spencer to continue talking about legacy and how that's tied to volunteerism here.
And Emma, I think you bring up a great point too with folks who have a positive experience. That's a great cohort to begin the conversation with. So leveraging that technology that you already have access to with Civic Champs, use that to your advantage. Those volunteers, they probably are the ones who are more likely to convert or steward through into plan givers if they're having this positive experience. So it's nice when you can one-to-one match, Civic Champs technology with what you would implement with something like Life Legacy. So that I love that feature right within there. So I know we've covered a lot of ground and about engaging your volunteers. But here's another way to also break it down just in terms of like tentpole events, and even kind of going back to what Emma said, hey, here's this cohort of folks who had a positive experience. These could be the events that you can re-engage with them about plan giving those times of the year. So, in August, Make a Will month, this is a huge volume standpoint for a month in terms of folks coming through with planned gifts and seeing activity and engagement. Similar in October, which is coming up, Estate Planning Awareness Week. Obviously, it's a condensed version of National Make a Will Month, but this is another good organic time to re-engage that conversation with folks. And then when you start getting around the holidays, Thanksgiving, Giving Tuesday, Christmas, and even New Year's, these are great times to factor in organic ways again to bring up estate planning or planned gifts. New Year's resolution, maybe it's to set up your estate plan, different things like that. And then there's also ways that you can flex a tentpole event, which is your organization's anniversary, birthday, or a milestone event that you can broadcast to, kind of, again, up level your fundraising initiative. And Life Legacy is here to help you. We've got the programs set in place to help with your plan giving program, get it up and off the ground and running. That way, you never miss another gift. And also, so again, your volunteers can leave a legacy. We're the most affordable plan giving solution on the market, and we're the only to offer white labeled and customized plan giving tools. And those include a last will and testament, a QCD tool, a gift intention tool, donor dashboard, and much more. But what we also do is we provide our partners with a plan giving marketing playbook with hundreds of resources to enhance fundraising efforts. So from email templates, messaging, custom graphics, social media content, we offer one of the most robust plan giving libraries that gets refreshed with new content monthly. This has been helping the hundreds of nonprofits that we work with raise millions of dollars in pledged gifts. And then speaking of the nonprofits we've been helping, our partners are seeing the results. I want to quick run through a small case study. But our partners are seeing the results or the return on investment from implementing these plan giving programs. And again, it's a low effort lift on their end. But to highlight one, we had a small faith-based organization, which is actually probably our smallest client in terms of the amount of donors they have, that we're working with, and they launched a series of 3 email campaigns to a targeted cohort literally a week after signing up. And what they saw was 56 wills were completed by supporters. 4 of those wills included their organization as a charitable beneficiary of their estate, which resulted in $399,000 of pledge plan gifts by week 3, with the average bequest size being around $99,875. So again, all of that was tilting above the average that you'll see in plan gifts. But it was really nice to see that a small organization did a low lift campaign, saw this ROI, and it's a testament to, one, their supporters, 2, them being committed to helping them leave a legacy, not only with them, but for their loved ones. And also an emphasis on, and I say this to all of our partners, it's not necessarily quantity of wills, it's quality. So it's quality of gifts. So they had 4 gifts come through. That might not sound off the charts, but what they found is now they have 4 folks that they can steward and work with. It generated a substantial amount of gifts for or funds for the future, but they also have 56 other folks in the pipeline that they can work with to eventually be included in their estate plan. They have all of this listed out. So there's really great ways that you can weave and grow your program.
All right, just making sure I have this. Let me go back one. Here you go.
Oh, I'm still up. I was like, all right, I saw the other slide. Okay, so if there's a few things to walk away from this webinar, it's that you have a major opportunity to help your volunteers leave a legacy with your organization. 1 in 3 of your volunteers are age 55 and older. 70% of your volunteers don't have a will, going back to that statistic of American adults in estate planning. Not providing a way to leave a legacy, it will lead to billions missed during the great wealth transfer. So this is really pivotal for nonprofits to activate, engage, and set a strategy in place. The solution for unlocking plan gifts is simple. It's low effort. It doesn't have to be anything crazy from an expense standpoint, from a time standpoint, as well as a resourcing standpoint. So Life Legacy, we provide all this. We can help you there with getting there, but we would love to see you offer your volunteers a way to craft their legacy. We think that this will propel your mission forward for years to come.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Spencer. I really feel like this is such, pivotal information, especially with these kinds of numbers, right? And so I really appreciate you tapping into this.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, folks, we have a couple more things I'd love to share with you. I hope you enjoyed our quick lunch and learn today, learning a little bit more about how you personally can start the conversation around legacy with your volunteer programs and in your own nonprofit or organizational spaces. But we'd love to continue the conversation with you. If anything today really resonated with you, or if you have any questions about anything in particular we talked about, I'll go ahead and share our information here. We'll share this out to you. I think, yes, Sylvia put this in the chat as well, so feel free to copy and paste this information. But yeah, please connect with us. Please email either me or Spencer, and we would, love to stay in touch with you. And then, yeah, we have a couple of different free things to give to you all today for joining the conversation. And so, Spencer, if you want to share a little bit more about Life Legacy here, I can tap into Civic Champs next.
Yeah. So there's three great freebies that we're offering. So we do have. I know I mentioned the marketing playbook that we provide to our paying partners. We do have a light version of that. So these are free plan giving resources that are refreshed monthly. You can upgrade at any time to unlock the full suite of marketing content, but this is something I would highly encourage everybody to take advantage of. We also have a free version of Impact Writer called Impact Writer Lite. That's ChatGPT for nonprofit fundraising. You can upgrade to Starter or Pro to leverage all the writing templates. That starts at $20 a month for the starter. It is going to be integrated into Razor's Edge in the coming weeks, so you'll probably see it within there. But there's over 15 templates in there, and the free version, I believe, comes with 3 or 5 custom templates that are built for specifically for nonprofit fundraising. So we're seeing great usage there from folks tapping into it. And the last is the Giving Suite discount. So 25% off when you use or mention the code Civic Champs 25 for our Giving Suite. So that's the full package with the will, gift intention tool, QCD, our complimentary giving button, as well as the donor dashboard. If you redeem that or book a demo by October 31st, so by Halloween, you will get a treat. You'll get that 25% off.
Your Halloween treat.
I love
Uh,
Halloween, so I had to slide that
yeah,
in.
me too. Yeah, this is great. A couple things on Civic Champs side. We over the last year have curated this ebook that includes a lot of really helpful information around a guide to volunteer management. So feel free, to you pull out your phones and get this on your phone right now, or of course we'll send this out and you'll be able to check this out. I think, yeah, Sylvia also put it in the chat for you guys. So yeah, this is for you to just better understand how you can, personalize your volunteer experience and maximize that component of your nonprofit's work. And then with Civic Champs as well, we're doing a discount. And so you will have 2 months free based on, being here in this conversation today. So this expires on October 12th. And you can book a demo with the link that Sylvia has put in the chat and mention it in that conversation that you were in this call in order to receive this freebie here. But yeah, even if you're just interested in learning more, feel free to stay on afterwards. I'd love to tell you a little bit more about Civic Champs and our own personal connection to this kind of mission. Yeah, and then we love, partnering with different folks in the space to provide educational resources to nonprofits. And so we're going to keep doing this because we think it's super valuable for all of these folks and for you to be able to gather and learn in flexible and accessible spaces. And so later this month, we'll be doing a webinar with Kudo Board as well as yearly. And then I'll actually be leading a webinar in October around grant writing with nonprofits. And we'll be doing that with a partner of ours in Pittsburgh, the Real Q. And then later in October, we'll be doing another webinar around harnessing local support. And so if any of these are of interest to you, we'll be sending this information out. And also Sylvia is so on it, put it in the chat. And so yeah, feel free to register for these. We'd love to continue the conversation with you in a lot of different areas, right, for your nonprofit. But yeah, that brings us to the end, folks. We really appreciate you, hopping on today's call. I hope you learned a little something. And we'll take questions if anybody has any. You can either put it in the chat or you can just come off mute and we can talk candidly as well. So yeah, I'll leave space for that. Give people a couple seconds. Alrighty. Well, if no one has questions, that's super okay. We'll continue to stay on this call for probably 5 more minutes or so if folks want to stay on and ask more
Yeah, I have a quick
personalized questions.
question.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, Wondering if there's something within your toolbox for managing charitable gift annuities?
Are you and okay, that's directed towards me. For a second, I thought they were asking Civic Champs. We don't have charitable gift annuities like internally. We do have folks that we've worked with in the past that can help support this. So we're more than happy to line that up if needed. But we do not have charitable gift annuities in our toolbox.
Okay, thanks.
Great. Alrighty, folks. Yeah, thank you so much for joining. We'll give some more of that lunchtime back to you all. We'll stay on for a couple minutes, but we appreciate your time and hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.